r/ask Reddit. People of Reddit, what are some of the guy code and girl code unwritten rules that you always follow? Be generous with your closest friends. Buy them an occasional beer or their favorite soft drink without keeping score of whose turn it is to pay. Bingo. I make a lot more money than my best friend. We don't talk about it and I never throw anything in his face. But if I want to go to a baseball game with him or take a road trip, he knows that not being able to afford it doesn't have to be a reason for not going. He's my bro and I've got him covered. Seriously, it's tacky to keep track of beers or reach rounds between friends. You just give what you can when you can. If another lady walks past and you notice a blood stain on the back of their pants skirt, tell them. But do it discreetly. Recently noticed a passenger had a spot on her pants. Wrote her a note and slipped it to her as I was collecting trash from the carriage. Half hour later, I see her again and she has a different change of pants on. She was super thankful. This takes me back 20 years. Back when I was in high school, I was sitting behind this girl in history class. She leaned forward to talk to the person in front of her and I saw she had a bunch of red paint on the seat of her pants. Krista, you must have sat in paint or something. You have red paint all over the back of your pants. Said in a not loud but not discreet manner. She just bolted from the room starting to cry. I thought the duck was at about. The teacher just looked at me and gave me the head shake and hand waved to not worry about it. It wasn't until years and years later, after I'd learned about women's biology and that memory came back to me, that I realized what I had done to the poor girl. I've felt bad about it ever since. Upwards nod equals we're friends and I'm acknowledging you. Downwards nod equals I don't know you but I'm acknowledging you. So true, to the point where if you reverse it on accident you won't get acknowledged. I was extremely tired and broke the code by upward nodding to a stranger and they looked at me confused and just walked away without giving me a nod. It took me until I got home to realize my mistake. If he drives, you pay for parking. If you see a girl with her skirt tucked into her tights, tissue stuck to her shoe or lipstick on her teeth, tell her. This happened once in college when I was working retail. I was leaving the store's restroom and one of my co-workers, who was always a nasty bitch to me for whatever reason, had tucked her skirt into her underwear. I debated whether or not to say anything and then went with my gut and alerted her of the situation. She was always super nice to me after that. Guy code. Don't try to get with someone else's partner. Always give at least one space for urinals. Head nod. If someone offers to pay, you should ask them if they are sure. If they are, then it is rude to further reject what is supposed to be a kindness on their part. I got the bill. Are you sure? Yep, don't worry about it. Thank you. Unless you are Chinese Cantonese, then you just elbow each other to the counter to be the first to pay, and or you give your credit card to the staff before you've even ordered. If you hear anything about a girl having a thing for your bro, you tell him immediately. I don't care if you're in the jungle with no cell phone service. You walk back to the nearest cell phone tower and let him know so he can get laid. Light the beacons. Never steal a bro's large fry. Or the accidental curly fry. If your friends help you move, you are expected to a. Be packed already, and b. Provide pizza and beer. Mayo. I hate how many times I've showed up to help friends move and they have nothing packed and not enough boxes. What should take a couple hours turns into an all-day marathon. Last slice of pizza or last pop beer always goes to who paid for it. If you all chipped in, you don't have to ask, but you have to tell. And never take both in the same hangout. No matter what the earlier rules say, never mess with the music in another person's car. Don't care how crap you think their taste is. If you know someone else had a regrettable hookup, no you don't. Not even if you fall out and become enemies. You don't remember. The music and car thing is so true. I've driven long drives for people on terrible roads and paid for gas, and no matter how much I pick my music to be inoffensive, I get people reaching for the aux. When I politely decline their music they get mad. More people should respect the aux. No, haven't seen him at the pub. When your best friend dies, you have to delete his internet history. Common courtesy. More like a fresh install of Windows and formatting the externals. If you sell a buddy a car, or anything of value cheaper than normal because they are a friend, that friend must offer to sell it back to you before offering it to the general public. At least 2 pats on the back when hugging another guy. No sniffing their neck either, it's kind of frowned upon. You absolutely never share a glass of milk with another man. This is odd. I've never seen such a foreign concept brought to my doorstep that I immediately agreed with. Bros before hoes, but not before wives. Sure, it sucks when a buddy has to stay home for a weekend camping trip, but if his wife's sick and they have a 3-month-old, it's probably best that he keeps his family's interests above your own. Haha. A guy I know is getting married soon and his bachelor party was supposed to be last weekend. Well, his best man couldn't make it as it was 2 weeks before his wife's due date, which everybody knew about before the groom picked the date. So the groom told off the best man and uninvited him from the wedding because he chose his wife and possibly the birth of his first child instead of camping along a river getting drunk. If their bedroom door open, be careful to sound your approach before popping in. Never know what he is up to. Girl code: whenever another girl asks how she looks, if you have something negative to point out, do it gently and follow up with at least one or more positive. You gotta use the sandwich. Compliment, insult, compliment. Silence at the urinal. Man, I will not speak to you unless I require immediate medical attention and you appear to be a doctor. If possible, I will take a urinal at least 1 urinal away from anyone else, and select spacing to maximize the number of potential peers who needn't stand shoulder to shoulder. Only speak to someone in a stall to warn them of an active shooter situation. Even then you can't directly address stall guy, you have to speak in generalities like, it is unfortunate that someone is on a rampage through the office. If anyone is in here, they may want to lift their feet. Lightly picking on each other is a sign of endearment, but you should always be trying to build each other up. Don't put someone else down just to make yourself feel better. Everyone wants to feel important and the center of attention sometimes. Don't bang someone that your friends are deeply invested in, even if it's not going to go anywhere. I wish I had friends who followed any of these. Bro code: if a girl passes out at a party, you're not allowed to touch her. Make sure one of her lady friends knows ASAP, preferable a relatively sober one. People who end a sentence with man, dude, or, my personal favorite, brother are immediately trusted. It's like a secret handshake that says at the very least, we are not enemies. This is going to sound weird as a guy code thing, as it's actually a bro thing to do for women. If I happen to be walking somewhere at night, think grocery store parking lot, and I'm behind a woman, I always scuff my feet or something so that she doesn't get freaked out by a man popping out of nowhere. As a fast walker, I will usually also slow my pace so she doesn't think I'm trying to gain on her or anything. Women's lives are filled with these safety related mini panic attacks, and as a guy, I try to do my best to not cause them. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.